item of mine. Again, growing up where I did, it's been a bucket list item for a long time. I wanted to catch fish and prepare it and eat it. So I catch a fish. Finally, after a couple of years of standing there at the bank drinking, and my wife runs down and she looks at it and she goes, "Please put it back. It wants to live."
It wants to live.
Oh, look at his little face. I want to live. And So next time I go out fishing, she's got to be nowhere around.
I get that. I've actually had people who went hunting with me, and Bambi would walk out in front. They're like, "Oh no, you can't kill it! You can't! Look, it's so cute!" You're like, "It's dinner. You just don't know."
I want to turn around for what's going to happen next.
Yeah, you might want to turn around, close your eyes, plug your ears. It'll be fine. But back to what you said, there is something, everything from squirrels to deer, it don't matter to the size, or fish even. I mean, we used to be really avid fishermen. We go up Lake Erie and we hit every lake here in Ohio, and every, a lot of the fish got ate. It was just what it is. And there is something very gratifying that I think a lot of these, especially younger generations, don't get. There is something about, you might have spent a lot of time on a boat, or a lot of time, like you said, in a tree stand or a blind, waiting for that one opportunity. And, when you get that opportunity and you take it, and then you think, now the real work begins, and now my wife, she is, she's diehard now. She not only goes hunting with me, but when it comes to processing an animal, there's no one else I want beside me. I mean, she's good with a knife, and I taught her, and I taught her well, and then she got even better.
And the best part too is it's not pumped full of fillers and hormones and water and chicken juice and genetically modified whatever.
Yep.
It is probably pretty damn healthy.
Yep. And that's the other thing. When you start healing an animal, and you start breaking that thing down, what you have, what to look for, and there's so much there. And then when it's all said and done, and you look and you think, hey man, now there's 30-40 pounds of meat in the freezer, and it was some work, and it was some effort, but there is something very gratifying about it.
Yeah.
And there is something of self-accomplishment there that, as you know, there's been a few articles going around, especially since the whole cricket thing with me and John Coleman, about people saying the whole, that's our future. This is what we're going to, be led to, is eating insects and stuff like that. And I say, no, there's enough fin, feather, and fur out there to keep me alive for a while.
Yeah.
And I know how to go get it, and I know what to do with it once I get it.
Yeah. Hey, some of the best barbecue I ever had in my life was out with a friend on an Army base that he was assigned to. They had a wild boar problem, and they would get paid to harvest wild boar. And I mean, they turn in the tail for the little reward, and they have a whole wild boar left, and good barbecue, very good cue.
Put that pig in the ground, let her cook for a while.
Exactly, and that's how they did it.
Yeah. Well, we had one. Well, it's happened more than once. I remember the first time my mom actually seen it happen. I had a deer hanging in your garage, and my wife had come up to help me break it all down. And I've gotten to where she is so good at what she does now. I take care of quartering it and getting her chunks of meat, and then she breaks it all down into the finer cuts of meat, trims it all out, gets it all done. And we're sitting there, and I tell you what, there ain't nothing fresher than literally peeling your meat straight off the critter. And I couldn't take it anymore. I'd sit here and looked at this, and that was a fine looking deer we was processing. And I went out. My mom and dad had a little fire pit. We had dug a hole in the ground, lined it with rock, and built it up. And it was just a little homemade fire pit. And I went out, made a fire, and as soon as that sucker was warm, I was literally slicing meat off the critter and throwing it on the fire. My mom just looked at me. She's like, "You can actually eat that while you're processing it like that?" And I thought, it don't get no fresher. It don't get no fresher.
And now all the vegans are gone.
Yep. Yep. It's just us meat eaters left. That's it. And it was, it was so good. And there was something, well, I've told them, I said, it's a switch. You turn it, you turn it off. I love my animals. I do. I've rescued many animals and I love my pets, but you know what? It's a switch. Yeah. Once I decide something's food, it's food. That's it. And that's just the mentality. I was like, hey man, it's a big, I guess, it'd be like them walking up to a berry bush. Well, while you're picking berries off the bush, you eat a few. You know what I mean? I know I did when I was, well, it's the same thing, except I won't say it anyway. Well,
a little bit more work.
Yeah, it's a little different. It ain't quite a berry bush, but it's the same thing. So it works. So anyway, but yeah, there is something very gratifying about it. And there's also something a bit liberating with it.
Yeah, I had one unsuccessful outing hunting, and that's I've caught the past couple of years. My wife made me let it go. But I imagine being able to have the knowledge that you could sustain yourself without any supermarket being involved or meat processing place or something wrapped in saran wrap on a styrofoam tray. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And like Hank said, country boy will survive. You know what I mean? I can grow my own tomatoes. I can skip. Anyway, we'll move on. I can get it done.
Venison cheesesteaks now.
Oh, you had to go and say that.
Now you got to mention.
Deer seasons bow season. Anyway, here goes the rest of the vegans. Bow season comes in next month. I'm in trouble. I might have to do that. And on that, this tells you how deep it is. My parents are leaving in a couple weeks. They're going all the way to Maine to go bear hunt.
Wow.
Yeah. So there could be 2 bear in my future. FoodTribe, this is the future coming.
Sorry about the siren in the background.
Bear meat's amazing. So yeah, I'm hoping because they've already said that I'm going to get most of it. Fine.
Nice.
I'll take one for the team, I guess.
Yeah, no problem with that. I'll make some room in the fridge.
Yeah, I'll buy another chest freezer. It's fine. It's just fine. And I have already said, for those of you who, there again, don't know this man right here and Caravan Larry are responsible, for getting me into sous vide. And I will tell you right now, the first thing if I get bear, first thing that's happening is that thing's going to get vacuum sealed, dunked in sous vide. Look, I promise.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see how that comes out.
I've had bear cooked a few different ways, but sous vide will take it to the next level for me. So, yeah. So, I get to thank you for that one yet once again, and in person. Well, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think of it? It's so different, when you think about grilling food and everything. Grilling food, cooking food on fire is very process oriented. Then you get sous vide, which is result oriented, right? Because there's not a lot of intervention. You just chuck it in the water and wait, Yeah. But the outcome is just so good.
It's amazing. I have been so used to, either gas grill or make a fire, or you got your iron skillet with your butter in it and you're going to cook a steak. Okay. Let's say a nice ribeye you got. And okay, if you're on an open fire, not gas, I mean, an actual wood, legit fire, you got to stay there with it. And, you get into a little trick a lot of y'all might not know is you do the thumb method. As you move down your fingers is the amount of doneness. you know, your index finger is your rarest, and as you move through your fingers, it becomes the more done. You can do that method. A lot of times I've just eyeball. I've done it so long I could just about eyeball.
You just feel it
Yeah.
feels like it's been 3 to 5 minutes. Time to flip it.
Yeah. And sous vide takes all that away. You go up there, you got your little machine, and you put, okay, I want 132 degrees for 3 hours. Throw it in there, and you walk away. It's like, okay, I guess I'll go do something else, you know. And the bad thing of it is, you know, even if you was on a gas grill or something like that, or even your cast iron, you know, I always say cast iron skillet. We're just using skillet. And you're trying to do it with the butter method or olive oil, whatever your thing is, you know, you got to worry about that overcook. And
Yeah.
if a person who likes a very specific, like a medium rare or something like that, you know, you're really concerned with that. Sous vide, just get your temperature right after that.
It breaks down the meat a little bit too, so you get that nice tenderness to it.
Yeah. And I am completely hooked. I never thought, well, you know, you've talked to me. Me and John's had many a conversation in DMs, and I was like, what's the point? You know, I've cooked great steaks on fire. Why do I need something like this? And then after seeing what you and Larry have done, and I just thought, your consistency for it, they always look the same, and it's always good.
Perfect
Know?
Medium rare.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm completely spoiled. I am completely spoiled. Now the only thing I look at and I think, well, fire is great for searing it. You know,
I love getting the blowtorch out to finish a sous vide steak. You know, get some butter on it, hit it with the torch. I tell you what, I'm excited about is I'm looking out for the right size brisket, because I want to do a couple hours of smoke and then vacuum seal it and then do a 40-hour sous vide on a brisket to really break down that muscle tissue and render that fat side of it to get, and all that, those juices, all that fat is going to stay in the meat in that vacuum sealed bag. So that's, if I can find the right size brisket, because I don't need a 17-pound brisket because it's not going to fit in my cooler or my vacuum sealer. But,
right.
But yeah, that's another future project. Keep your eye out for.
Something I haven't even got around to posting yet. How bad's this? I have done well, maybe by the time this video goes up, it might be posted. But anyway, I done turkey breast in sous vide one time, and me and my wife ate it. Dude, that was I didn't know turkey breast could be that juicy. I had no idea.
It's hard to screw it up in the sous vide.
Yeah. And then like a day or two later, my wife shows up from work, and she'd stopped into the store and bought turkey breast tenderloins, the actual little tenderloins. And she goes, "You need to cook these next." Okay. You know, and after that, I have threatened to make Thanksgiving Day turkey into sous vide. It's like, if I could figure out a way. And I've already figured out that, okay, I can't shove a whole turkey into a free vacuum seal bag. My vacuum sealer just ain't that big either. So what I'm threatening to do is literally cut the breast off, the legs, the thighs, the wings, and vacuum seal them all separately, and just it's fine. It's you know, Thanksgiving turkey sous vide style.
Pre-carb.
It's fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, no, I am completely hooked. The one thing I also want to do that way that Larry has got me hooked on now for wanting to try is actually cooking burgers too.
Oh yes. I
haven't done that yet.
So what I was trying to figure out, because I wanted to do Juicy Lucy's, and I've always messed with them on the gas grill, and I always end up with a hollow burger with all the cheese running through the grain. They can get flare-ups. And then it occurred to me one day, cook it in the sous vide, and then finish it on the grill, so that the burger meat cooks around the cheese melts, it doesn't have to be on the grate for as long. Right. And then So that after that, I had a really good success with that, with big old chunks of pepper jack cheese. So I then, well, what if I do it with Spam? And that came out pretty good. And then I did it with baked beans.
I remember that.
And it was actually, most of the juices had gone out of the baked beans, but you still had that baked bean flavor in there. It was really, really good. I was actually surprised how well that came out. I kind of did it as a joke, but
yeah,
I'd do that again. It was good.
I might have to venture into that one. I ain't gonna lie though. Darren Parsons done that breakfast one where he put an egg in the middle.
Yes.
I'm like, you got me curious now because I look.
Mix
I put a lot of
mix
things
some bacon through the meat. Oh yeah.
Yep. He's got my wheels spinning on that one because I thought, oh man, I could get into that. Now, sometimes you get into a certain mindset where, like me, egg always went on the burger,
Yeah.
So I was so used to that mindset that I never even pondered putting it Juicy Lucy style inside of the burger,
Oh, the possibilities are endless.
endless. That's just like when I done the Sir Juicy John, man. And I tell you what, there is something to be said about cheese and chorizo in the middle of a burger. Now that's a leaker. Chorizo has a lot of grease in it.
Yeah.
A lot of grease. My God, if you get that thing sealed up right, it will absolutely be one of the juiciest things. Dude, I'm getting hungry talking to you. I'm not kidding. I'd be lucky I ain't downstairs eating something after this is all said and done. Be out making a fire at 10 o'clock at night going, I got to eat.
My neighbors would be like, oh, hell, he must be drunk.
Drunk and hungry. Oh, gosh. That's a dangerous combination. So, no, I have completely enjoyed the sous vide. I have so many ideas I want. In fact, there again, see, this is the problem with these podcasts. A lot of these, are shot so far in advance that I don't know what is going to come between the time I shoot them or record them, I should say, and by the time they drop.
Yeah.
My cheesesteak is going to be a sous vide adventure as well.
Ooh.
I'm thinking that might be where it lays.
That'll be interesting.
Because I'm telling you, man, there is something about when you pull that steak out and you start slicing it, and that cutting board is just plumb full, and it's sweat and juices while you're cutting.
I know, I love it. And we always do sauteed mushrooms and onions, and all that juice gets poured on top because you can't waste it.
Yeah. And you talk about making gravies, man. When I'm Southern Ohio. Look, we love gravy, and we love gravy. Everything gets gravy on it. We can't make toast without having gravy with it. Anyway, it's just the way it is. And them drippings, that's what we call them up here. Drippings that is left at the bottom of the bags, man. That's liquid gold right there.
Oh yeah, I've saved it for sauces. I've saved it for sauteed mushrooms and onions, and so much flavor. All that beef juice, just the vegans are rolling their eyes again. But all that beef juice, it's so good.
Yeah. Well, and if you love homemade ramen, look, there ain't nothing making broth out of some leftover sous vide beef juices. Let me tell you.
That's good.
I'm telling you that's a whole nother level right there. Yeah. So, hey, if you don't mind, otherwise, look, me and John can sit here and talk burgers and cheesesteaks and steaks and just meat as a rule. Like, I'm sure we'd be here till midnight. Yeah. So, we'll jump into some questions if you don't care.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We kind of talked about how you come across FoodTribe, how you found FoodTribe or whatever. So I think that's kind of covered, unless there's something we missed.
Oh, no, the other thing I got to say on that is I've gotten so many ideas. I feel like I'm backlogged on ideas of all these different foods I want to try now. It's just so varied. It's pretty cool. I love it.
It is. And that's where I'm at. I have so many things that I want to try, and then people come to me and say, hey, you need to try this and please try that. And I'm like, people, look, I love y'all and I'd love to try everybody's food. I'm trying to get to what I can. I still want to make Vincellini's burger he made for me. Look, there's two things I love: is pizza and burgers. Okay, and if I can combine the two, I will. And I still want to try that. And I'm trying to get there, Vincellini. I really am. Maybe before this video drops, I've done made it. I can't promise it. And then, you get your own ideas when you're sitting around on the couch one night and you're like, what if I'd done,
I've got ideas I've had for years now that they're on the backlog. I got to make time to eat more food.
That's bad, isn't it? Well, and, with me, that's another issue, believe it or not, because I only eat once a day. And it's like, people, I only eat once a day. I can't do all this. If I did, my God, I'd be 300 pounds.
I'm working on
it. So, all right. Well, what's your guilty pleasure food?
Ooh. Potato chips.
Potato chips.
Yeah, specifically hers salt and vinegar chips.
How did I know that was coming?
From growing up, and it's like, the wife's not looking, dip into the pantry. How many can I shovel in my face?
I give you that one. I do. There's well, I won't say nothing beats it, because that's a lie, but it is hard when you got that craving about you, that salt and vinegar, it's just what you need, and nothing else will work. I tell you what, me, I've tried several salt and vinegar potato chips, and you're very picky on which ones you want. And in fact, there again, something else I got to get around to. I got a couple bags sitting in the cabinet I have not even tried yet, not even opened, just sitting there. And I'm thinking, I got to get to those.
Hey, I have to import my hers potato chips. Very rare.
I will never forget that post, but when you come back, and you had that whole stockpile of hers chips, dude, you don't understand how hard I was laughing. I almost dropped my phone. I had tears, man. That was great.
I wanted to hug him, but then
oh, it looked like a dog with his favorite toy, just hugging it with his front legs and kicking with his back. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for my parents to drive down here the next time, because load up the car.
Yeah, put your luggage in the back seat and fill the trunk full up with chips and come down see me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is I never even actually liked hers chips. One of the main hers factories is right here where I live. And literally it's within bicycle distance of me. I can be there in a moment. And I just couldn't get into them. The smell was weird coming out of the factory, and you smelled it all the time. And I would eat the salt and vinegar out of all the hers chips. That's the only ones I could tolerate. And I got away from them just because, there was a factory right there. I just got sick of seeing them.
Yeah.
But then once that factory shut down a few years ago, and now, well, as my post said, man, to me, that's the best chip there. Well, it's the best salt and vinegar chip.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said. They got that recipe down.
Heck yeah.
All right. I might know where this one is, but we're going to ask you, what's your favorite cheese?
Easy. American cheese.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. there are so many better tasting cheeses, but when you take flavor and texture, and I know a lot of folks out there internationally are like, what the hell? It's the most disgusting cheese on the planet, but nothing melts like American cheese.
That's right. It gives you that melty gooiness that nothing else can touch. And
between two smash burger patties.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
oozing out goodness.
That's it. And, you know, what you said is exactly correct. There's so many people from different countries going, well, it's not even cheese. It might not be technically, but, you know, and then you got to defend whether it's cheese to begin with, you know.
It's funny. There's a burger place here that's TV famous around the country, and they source everything locally. They grind their specific locally sourced brisket and chuck to make these patties. They make the buns. They make the mustard. They make the ketchup that goes on the burger in-house. And they experimented with cheeses. They tried making cheese. They tried buying locally sourced cheese. And they served their burger with Kraft American singles.
Oh, what's that tell you?
Everything they tried just wasn't right. And they went back to the old classic.
Well, that's like when I done the, you know, what cheese do you prefer on your burger post, the poll I done. And man, there was sort of some arguments happening because people was like, why is American cheese so, you know, there's other better cheese. And I'm like, yeah, there is. I get it. But, you know, there's just something about the texture, that gooey meltiness that just can't be matched. And
look, I'll have crackers.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, it was made for stuff like that. And you know, it's what I say. You know, I love like a cheddar. I do. I love good cheddar on a burger. I love pepper jacks. Yeah, I like a lot of cheeses on my burgers. But I tell you what, a lot of times that go-to is just that American.
Yep.
See that? Look, see, we back on burgers and talk anyway. That's why I said this conversation going all night. But yeah, I'm with you. The American's a hard one. As a rule, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, I've got my top 4 favorite foods. 1 and 2, cheesesteaks and cheeseburgers tied. Steak is up there.
Right.
Filet is my favorite cut. Picanha maybe. Brazilian top rung.
Right.
And French fries.
French fries. Nice. See, I can't. I don't mind French fries, but they are so not even probably in my top 10. Not even close. But I like them. But yeah,
French fries drenched in cheese.
Now you start getting into some loaded fries. Now we can talk. You start topping them with chili and cheese and jalapeno. Jalapenos, all that. Thinking of which, just like them crazy nachos, man. Look, that's got to be in my top 5.
Yeah, I think I'm slowly killing myself with the food.
I know, right? I do understand that, and you know, there's another prime example where FoodTribe get you in trouble. You get around the right people, and you're doomed because, you know, I was sitting there. I'll not forget that, man. I was sitting on the couch, having my phone in my hand, cruising FoodTribe, and it's like, oh, John's new post is up. Okay, you know, and of course I'm scrolling through, and I come across it, and it was crazy nachos or stupid nachos, wasn't it?
Stupid nachos, yeah.
Yeah, and I seen them, and I thought he done it again. The boy went and done it again. And I got to reading what you done, and I was like, oh, that sounds so good. And then immediately, by the time I got to the end of your post, I was like, I need nachos in my life now. And but then see, this is where it gets you in trouble, because I got to the end of his post going, I need those in my life, to going, yeah, but what if I done it this way? You know,
cool thing, because a couple people were like, I needed nachos, and then this is what I had. I was like, damn, their nachos look better than my nachos. I need to do nachos again.
Well, and that's the bad thing, is this starts, growing, and you think, because I've done things and it's like, wow, that's pretty good. And then somebody will come back and say, well, I done it this way. And you're like, ooh, that does sound better. And then you think, well, if you made it better by this, then if I take what you done and I do this, then it'll be, and then next, you've had nachos for 3 weeks in a row. I
gotta tell you though, behind the scenes, all I got were stern looks all night from my wife. Because she made a taco salad with like a quarter cup of taco meat on it.
Oh no, that's just enough to get me started. I can't.
I've got like a 4x8 tray.
Yeah.
Nachos with cheese and meat and guacamole and everything unholy pouring off of it.
The other one that got me in trouble. John can get me in trouble, boy. I ain't kidding you. The stupid nachos. I had a whole platter. Now, I didn't get a whole tray out like you did, but I did have a big serving platter full of them things. And I didn't finish all of them, y'all. I ain't built for that, but I give it my best. That loaded potato, that got stupid quick.
For sure. I was happy with my results.
Oh, yeah.
The people that did their own version, I was like, holy crap, that looks so much better.
And then people, like, I got my parents come around going, you gained some weight. I'm like, FoodTribe will do that to you, Well, if you just look, all I had for dinner was a baked potato. Had a half a pound of bacon and chicken and half a tub of sour cream, and anyway, it's fine. It's a baked potato,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be good, I'm trying to be good. And yeah, and that's another thing is just like that baked potato. Sometimes the pictures that people see on FoodTribe, it does no justice to what it really is, because I have done that. I'm sure you've come across this one. Is you make something and you take pictures of it and you're going,
oh yeah,
that's nothing for the absolute scale of what this really is.
Yeah, it's like, this tastes really good, but my photography skills kind of suck.
Yeah, I get that one. When I done that giant chicken burger I made. Yeah, and I thought, if anybody truly understood, because that picture done no justice as to how big that burger really was. And I've made some giant burgers. It's not the biggest one I've ever made, but it's probably second place. And when you're I made a smash style for anybody who remembers. When you got your big skillet out, and then you got to take your next biggest skillet and grease the bottom of it and get it ready, because you're using another skillet to smash that burger down, and then you got to do the slide around to make sure you get it. And then you got two spatulas going, God, I hope this thing don't fall apart when I try to flip it,
I think we need to start keeping a yardstick or something for scale in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, I thought, I always got my coffee cup in the background, and I thought maybe that'll do it. But then even after I took the pictures and I was getting ready to post it, and I thought, that does no justice whatsoever to how big that thing really was. And that baked potato, that loaded baked potato, I done from you. And I thought the same thing. I was sitting there going at the pictures going, people have no idea how huge that really was.
So you gotta get the bathroom scale out, get it in there.
Yeah, and you like you said, put a ruler in the back or something, like, you know. Oh, just so people have a measure of scale behind it.
Yeah.
So, but okay, I'll probably then I'll have the people from some of these countries going, "It's in inches. You need to convert it to metric." Oh.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We didn't study that in school anyway. So, I'm sure since you've been cooking, like all of us, what's your worst cooking injury you've had?
The worst cooking injury?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So when I worked at that cheesesteak place, I slipped and dunked my hand in the deep fryer.
Oh no!
Let me tell you, I lightning fast got it out.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
no disfiguring scars or anything like that, but no amount of ice made my hand feel good.
No.
It was instant numb. It was bad. That was bad.
I had a brush with that. Nothing close to that, but I was working at a Long John Silver's. They're getting young, and you do what you gotta do. Anyway, and I wasn't paying attention because we was busy, and I was running to deep fryers, and I was looking behind me, and I reached over to grab something and wasn't looking what I was doing, and I had dunked my thumb, just my thumb, to like there in it. And so when you said your whole hand went in, that's why I thought, oh, I know
about that far. And let me tell you, it's pretty gnarly looking for several weeks, but
and it was.
But it was like
oh, did it do the whole like peel? Or
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was no amount of ice made it feel good.
Yeah, well, we had that discussion with the food injuries, and a few people has admitted to some pretty gnarly gashes and cuts, and I've my fair share of those, both in the kitchen and outside the kitchen. And I tell you what, I've had burns where bring the knife on, just bring the knife.
I might cut it off, just to
look. When I told my cooking injury, the worst one I had, when I was talking to Leela, that day I probably could have gnawed my hand off, and it wouldn't have been as painful. And it was a burn, and it was just, well, it was a burn, but it was drastic. But yeah, there's some things that I think, man, them burns, there's just something about it,
That's the only thing. All these years later, I think I have more of a sensitivity to it, so it makes cooking sometimes a pain in the ass.
Right. And you're definitely conscious of it. Once you sustain something like that, you are always aware of it. Once you start feeling that heat, you're like, nope,
Bit much shy.
Yeah, and to this day, mine was, oh God, probably 10 years ago. And I can be on a grill or an open fire, and it crosses my mind all the time. And even if I'm on a gas grill, which wasn't what happened, but if I'm even on a gas grill and I'm out there, flipping something or doing something, and of course, when you're over a grill, your hand gets hot just because it's right over heat. And once that certain level of heat in the hand hits, it's like instinct. You just pull back, and you think, well, I'm in no danger, but your brain resets to that moment.
If I'm frying something and it starts popping, I jump back like an explosion happened.
Well, I had a fear of kitchen utensils for the longest time.
Oh, I got will kill me for telling this one, but she got her hand stuck in a mixer once and had to go to the emergency room to have it removed.
Oh no! Oh no! No, 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 no.
She was trying to knock something off the beater, and it took the spoon and.
God, no, please.
Story. I don't even think she can remember what it felt like just going into the emergency room with the mixer.
Oh, I could tell you, no, mine was, like I said, 10 years or so, maybe even longer ago now I think about it. Now, I can remember that day vividly. Oh, I about break into a sweat just thinking about it. And I didn't have my hand no mixer, but when stuff's just plastered, I remember after mine, I bet for almost 6 to 8 months, I would go up and touch stuff or I'd take a spoon or the handle of something and touch it because I was just so petrified.
Oh yeah.
And it just, yeah. It burns, man. You remember this, but get your hand in it. Be lucky if I used a mixer again. A whisk, I'll trust a whisk. It'd be fine. I'll stand here for 3 hours and whisk. It's fine. I hope she didn't sustain any permanent damage or anything like that.
No, I've done stupider things outside of the kitchen, so I got that covered.
Yeah, my boy, I've done that one too. I got the scars to prove all of them. Yeah, you can talk about butcher knives, but once you put a machete through your hand, it changes.
Oh yeah.
everything.
And then they're working on cars. It's amazing all the ways a car can figure out to hurt you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And especially if you're like me and a lot of the cars I worked on was old and a little rusty and stuff wasn't quite. But
yeah.
That's why people always ask me when something happens, did you get your tetanus shot? Nah, I'm naturally immune. Naturally immune. Oh, well, like I said, we done the how'd you find FoodTribe? Do you have a favorite pastry? I feel bad asking you that one being a cop.
Well,
I do. But
it's funny because I was on patrol, and over a 12-hour shift, you come across the same intersection several times, and I pulled up, and they were selling Krispy Kreme donuts for some charitable drive. And they're like, do you want to buy some donuts? And I'm like, I don't really eat donuts. No, thank you. Appreciate it. And like an hour later, I'm back at the same intersection. Oh, you want to buy donuts? No, I don't want to buy donuts. About the third time, it started getting annoying. The fifth time, I snapped. I don't want your donuts. But my wife brought home, they had some boardroom meeting, and they brought in breakfast, and she saw a lone maple glazed bacon donut in this pile of donuts, and she stole it for me and brought it.
You know that's when your wife loves you right there, boy. She brings you maple glazed bacon donuts.
She's Jewish, she doesn't do the bacon thing.
Yeah.
But she brought me this donut, and it was the best donut I've ever had in my life. And especially because you brought it for me, but that is my favorite pastry.
Oh, I can't disagree with you. I've had a couple of those in my life. They are awful. When it comes to sweet, anytime you can add bacon, it's a win. I'm sorry.
Plus meat.
Yeah.
And pastries.
Yes. And everybody knows I got a donut weakness anyway. So you take my donut weakness and then you put my bacon weakness, and you put them two together.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I love that. And all self-control goes out the window. It's over. That's like I got to contain myself because I done a post about it. John Coleman is all wrapped up in it, in the whole salted caramel bacon milkshake.
Oh. Did you ever have Burger King's bacon sundae?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they just got to have been about 10 years ago since they had it, but I remember thinking, that sounds absurd. I'll take one. And it had the crunchiest, most awesome bacon stuck down in this caramel chocolate sundae. And that's the first time I ever had bacon with sweet. And it's like, this is absolutely damn brilliant.
Yeah, and I just thought of a whole nother post for FoodTribe now. Sweet treats, watch out! I'm bringing bacon to you. Oh. And you know, that's something that most people are going to think of is, hey, you want a nice ice cream sundae? Yeah, I do. Well, I'll get the bacon out. Give me a minute.
We went to this, a bunch of guys from work and I went to this really, really nice high-end. Have you ever heard of Fogo de Chão, the Brazilian restaurant? They've got a couple around the United States, and they have a really nice salad bar. And I like to start a good steak meal with a good Caesar salad. And my buddy and I get up there in line, and they have candied bacon on the salad buffet.
Oh, yes.
I get my Caesar salad. I get a couple pieces of candied bacon. I go back to the table, and just seconds later, he comes to the table with the whole tray of candied bacon.
Oh no!
I don't care.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. It's so good.
I'll have an 8 before anybody catches on anyway. Don't worry about it.
I'll bring more out.
Oh, that sounds like a good friend right there. You know, you got a wife that brings you maple bacon glazed donuts and a friend that brings you candied bacon. Your life ain't all bad. I mean,
love it.
Life ain't all bad. I know there again, we've kind of touched on this one back and forth, but what's your biggest inspiration for the stuff you cook, recipes and stuff?
God, so the funny thing is, I've been married now for 9 years. I met my wife 10 years ago. I didn't know how to cook a single thing before I met her. And that first thing I ever really cooked for real, I made authentic street style tacos, trying to impress her. And then I found out she liked steak. So I learned how to cook steak, trying to impress her. And she, you know, she works in the corporate world, so she gets to go out and have these big, awesome steak lunches with bankers at really high-end steak restaurants in the city. So, I mean, that was my benchmark. Yeah, and that was making her happy. That was fun. And then it's cool because after that, it's like, wow, this tastes really good, and I like it, and I made it myself. So what else do I want to eat? And you eat something, it's like, this tastes better than the restaurant. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, I'm gonna make something else.
Exactly, and that's why I have a hard time with this stuff, and that's the reason my bit of disgust for fast food, especially in the burger realm. McDonald's and the likes. I catch a lot of heat over that, but it's like, and I know, but once you're at home and you can say, you know what, I want ground sirloin, or maybe, and you start picking either, maybe I need a drier, leaner meat, or maybe I need that 70-30 split, because I want that fat in there. And if you got like us, I know I got my own grinder. So if I sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to mix a little of this and a little of that, and I'm going to make it this way. I'm
afraid what would happen if I had my own grinder.
It'll get you in trouble, my boy. It'll get you in trouble.
I mean, it'd be over.
Yeah. And you get to playing with things, and I can't go back to restaurants. And just like steaks, I've had people say, oh, this place serves the best steak you'll ever eat. And I'm like, I doubt it. I really do.
Your post, the burger board kind of brought to my attention that I liken it to when I was a little kid and I had my favorite baseball card and I looked at it all the time and I didn't notice the edges get knocked off and it gets a little wrinkled and it's not perfect condition anymore. Something you brought to my attention. I had a burger at Checkers years ago, and it was phenomenal. And today that same burger is just, it's like meatloaf that's been swimming in a water vat.
Oh no,
Smaller, disgusting, and processed, and it's not what it used to be.
Yeah. And I am the type of person, I still like to eat with my eyes. I want it to look good.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things with Burger Wars is I did try to push was the fact that, you go out here and you look at their menu, it don't look like what you get. It's clickbait. These burgers that you see on these menus aren't even real half the time.
They're
yeah, yeah, you wouldn't eat it. You definitely ain't going to eat what's in that picture. And I pride myself in making that look good, even if it's just for me. I'm the only one that's going to. Well, not anymore, thanks to FoodTribe. Everybody in the world sees it. But anyway, now even if it's just for me and I'm not putting it on FoodTribe, I still try to make them look good. And
love doing that because, and it sucks because I can't always capture it in the photography. But you eat with your eyes first, and it's a little bit of a pride when you put down that crafted dish. And again, I try to impress my wife and look good on her plate for her. But I'll also get eye rolls because she's ready to eat, and I'm still taking photos. And I got to move these fries over here a little bit. Yeah, she's done with her meal.
We've discussed that many a time on here with different people, and it's that first of all, ain't had a hot meal in a long time, and then family getting upset because why you got to stop and take pictures and everybody else is eating, or the struggle's real, y'all. When you in it. And you want them pictures to come out right. It takes time. It really does, and it's amazing because I like I said, I've always taken pride in how I present something. Probably way more now since I have been on FoodTribe, but you go that extra mile to get that just right, and you learn how to, well, if I lean this just a hair this way and I move this a bit forward and I angle and it's like
dripping out at this angle,
and and then you think, well, this side might look a little better actual photo wise, but this is the side I want to take the bite out of. So then you got to play with, like, okay, do you show the side you really want to take the bite out of, or do you want to show the side that actually might be a little more aesthetically pleasing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a burger, you don't.
I don't ever want to photograph half-eaten food. It just bothers me.
Well, I do occasionally. Now, like steaks or something that I've sliced on and stuff, I don't mind so much, but. Like a burger is very hard to do because, well, usually it's a mess, and especially if you get into some,
put it down.
especially you get into some of them, they're just that way, and you get into some exotic burgers like some of the stuff I've made, and usually I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of them just you almost need to finish them with a knife and a fork by the time.
My favorite though is I'll be chowing down on this awesome meal, and my wife will go, "Didn't you want to take pictures of that?"
I have done that more times than I count, and AKA the cannolis.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I'm going to try one. I didn't even think about a picture. I was just like, I'll try it. Next thing I know, I had ate it all, and I thought, I really should have got a picture of that.
Two boxes.
Yeah. Well, but the best thing is if there was something really good like that and you didn't get your picture, it gives you a reason to have it
again. Go back. Yeah.
It's like, well, I'll just have to go buy more cannolis. That's how I get around that. Yeah. I just have to get around it by buying more or making it again. So. Yeah. Is there anything food wise and cooking that intimidates you?
Boiling water.
boiling water.
It's actually become a sad joke at the house because it's like I don't want to make the rice. Like, what do I do? My wife's like, boil the water and you put the rice in.
Yeah.
Spaghetti noodles, same thing.
No, I can't laugh, honestly. I mean, the boiling water is pretty funny. I have learned gadgetry is what intimidates. I hate anything that involves a microwave. I do. I have fear the moment the door shuts and I start pushing buttons going, this ain't going to turn out well. It's just,
especially if it's not your microwave. Like, yeah, you end up at a friend's house or the break room at work and it's like, oh God, I just put it on for an hour.
Yeah. Oh God, I hope I don't catch fire one. The other one is the sous vide thing. I made the joke, but I wasn't joking either. I was concerned. I'm going to electrocute myself. I really am. I'm taking a glorified curling iron and sticking it in water. Go ahead and just plug it in.
That big old thing of water is next to the outlet that this curling iron plugged into.
Yeah.
You only live once, right?
Yeah, hey, it's all for the name of steak. Anyway, the other thing I have realized, my wife has a Instapot, and it's one of the better ones, I guess.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this.
And I look at that thing like a monkey trying to read hieroglyphics. It just, I sit there and think, nope, because somehow in there I could end the world. I'm sure of it. It's just.
So my mom, we bought my mom an Instapot. It's what we do at our house. Is
right.
If we're interested in some kind of cooking gadget, we buy it for our parents first, and we see if their house burns down or not. Cool. They're still alive. Maybe we'll try.
Oh, that's
calls. I have no clue what I'm doing. What do I do next?
Now, see, we're the exact opposite. We'll buy it for us, and if we live through the experience, we'll get it for my parents. So we're exactly opposite there. But that is one of the things I have realized is this high-tech gadgetry that is out now is honestly one of the most. No food process really scares me. It's this gadgetry, and I think honestly that might have been one of the things that also that I was hesitant on before taking the leap into sous vide was I'm sitting here going, here's another gadget I have to plug into a wall, I have to sit there and push buttons, and it's beeping at me, and I'm thinking, God, please just involved. Well, and that's the thing, my sous vide has Wi-Fi capability, and I thought that's the last thing. That's just the absolute. I don't need to cook steroids. Yeah, I don't need to be able to cook using my phone. Okay, please. Because I come from cooking. My cooking background was basic and very basic. And what I took pride in was, I went out in the yard, and everybody who follows me knows that I would go out into the yard. Hey, I'd get sticks and leaves, and I'd go out with my knife and my flint, and I would, ferrocerium rod. Make a fire, take my meat, my products out there, even my cast iron stuff, and I would sit out there with my fire and I'd cook my food. And so, going into electronics just to me was like, I don't get it. I'm like grandma looking at a smartphone going, it's witchcraft.
You want me to boil my meat?
Yeah.
It goes against everything I hold dear.
Yeah, and now I will say, since I have started the sous vide and started posting it, that is one thing I have caught people evidently don't really get, because they always refer to, when you're boiling meat, well, that's not really what you're doing. There's a big difference between vacuum sealing something up and then dropping it in a controlled temperature that actually isn't even at a boiling temperature. Boiling's what, 220 degrees, and a lot of the stuff we cook is 160 and under. A lot of it's around 130, 140. So that's not even boiling. I mean, really, you're just above bath water. I mean, it's like I'm thinking
filet 127 for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yep. And it's not like you got your soup pan out, filled it full of water, and then poured your pork chop out of the package and just threw it in the water and said, well, it'll be done here in a minute.
There are folks that will boil ribs.
Yes. We won't even get into that. I won't.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. And they said, well, I boil my ribs. I put them in and I boil them this and that. And then I think they put them in the oven and finished them off.
They gotta dry all the water out of it.
Yeah. And I thought, first of all, you done waterlogged your meat. And then all that juice into the water that you throw away.
Just 2 shots of barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Just look, when you sous vide, it's in a bag.
Yeah.
It's vacuum sealed. All that juice and that meat fat and all that stuff is sealed into it. It don't just bleed out into a big pot of water.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that when you were trying to explain sous vide to somebody is the biggest road bump, because they think you're just taking it and chucking it, bare meat into water and just letting it boil away. And it's like, no, you're missing a very important step,
Yeah.
And so, that I have found has, with the sous vide journey, is getting people to realize it is not that, it's not that. Sometimes I just want to beat my head against the wall going, it's hopeless. It's hopeless. They'll never understand, Go watch a YouTube video. It's different. Okay. And if I ever master camera skills, because I tell you what, trying to cook something and record it at the same time, God bless the people who do it, because I don't evidently have the skill.
Yeah, my house isn't a studio. I'm not even going to try.
So, and I would like to do some sous vide videos showing, how it's done, kind of things. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I have tried to do it, and all I could think of is I'm going to drop my phone into this big vat of water, and it's all going to be over. If the sous vide don't electrocute me, my phone will.
That's so, do rice.
Yeah. Start with something simple. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, my intimidation is electronic. Keep it simple, keep it easy. So,
yeah.
Well, you know what? We've been on here almost 2 hours. It was daylight behind you when we started. I have said this in other podcasts too, is people say, well, why can't you make these shorter?
It was a quick 2 hours.
It was. And that's what they don't, until you get in here and you get them people, well, like me and you, where we can obviously just sit and talk. And next thing you know, you look up and, 2 hours is gone. And I always make it's kind of become a running joke, but it's not, is these just seem to be 2 hours. It just seems to be where they go. People I have never talked to in my life, 2 hours, next thing you know, it's like, yep, it don't matter. There's been a few short ones, but here's another 2-parter for y'all.
Well, I'll tell you what, you won't ever end up down here in Georgia. Get you some of that good Southern food, definitely some red meat, some good beer. We'll have to do it.
Well, ain't gonna lie. There is a trip coming, and I've already talked to you about it. We're pondering doing Tail of the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And I know roughly where you're at in Georgia. And I took that and put it to where, and that's only like 4 hours away.
Yeah, and I might meet you at the tail.
Hey, look, I'm sure you know some good places somewhere because you've been to the tail. So, hey,
Oh, that's
man,
fun. It's fun.
we got to laughing because, people's always said, hey, they want to do a big food tribe get together, meet and eat type thing. And I'm like, look, there's some people up here on the East Coast. I'm in Ohio, you in Georgia. Oh, Christy Sanders is in the Carolinas, you know, and I'm sorry, there's some people we could gather right here on the East Coast. Yeah, we all find a middle spot. And I tell you what, somewhere about Middle Tennessee wouldn't be hard to get to for anybody. You know what I mean? And
Pounds heavier.
look, you pull up in your Ranger with your cook kitchen on the back. Okay, I trust you with that. And then I show up and we get some other people going. Yeah, it's gonna be a small group of food tribers, but I can guarantee you there'll be some good food show up.
I'll bring the chuck wagon.
Yeah, and I'll bring the ground chuck. Oh. You bring the chuck wagon, I'll bring the ground chuck. And we'll have a good time. But no, hey, out of a lot of food tribers, I ain't lying. Me and you've always joked about getting together, and that is something that actually wouldn't be that hard to pull off. I mean, there is some time between us, but it ain't nothing but a road trip,
Road trip.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much always up for a road trip. So, hey, we don't have all the restrictions a lot of these people have. We're allowed to travel too and go. And I've seen some of them restaurants you go to, and between my belly hurting just thinking about it. I ain't lying. Between the burger shops you have done, the steak houses, look, you're gonna have to fire up that flat top for me, and we're gonna have to get some smash burgers going. I mean,
I look forward to it.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, John. We'll go ahead and cut that here if you want. And like I said, we've done crossed that time. I've had a great time getting to talk to you after almost 2 years on FoodTribe and commenting. And I can't lie, I felt like I've got to know you over that time and just similarities in life. And hey, it's easy, we both bit America, you know what I mean? Just bit America, and yeah, so it's been great talking to you. It really has. Thanks for coming on and doing this. Appreciate it. Been a lot of fun.
Thank you. I got too many ideas now. Thanks.
Yeah, I got all kinds of ideas, including bacon Sundays. Hey, I'm just saying. So, I appreciate it. All right, y'all, we'll close this out. I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast, enjoyed hearing me and John yak about all kinds of meat. To my vegan people out there, I'm sorry. This was going to happen. Okay, I'm sorry, but this was going to happen. Even if you are vegan, you stuck through this, I hope at least you got some laughs out of it, had a good time, and, hope to enjoy it. As always, Food Tribe, stay wonderful, stay positive, and remember, I love y'all. Bye.